to my first ever DIY tutorial. I'm good with flowers and I'm good at making stuff with floristry, but I'm not very technical, so I apologise for the basicness of this video. Okay, but let's get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split it up into several different sections because otherwise it will be a really long video. So the first section I'm going to do is the mossing up of the ring. So in your DIY kit you will have a ring that looks like this, and you want it to have the biggest part of the ring on the bottom so that it's raised up. And also in your kit you will have some moss, okay? And the idea is that you create a base of moss on the ring, which you can then put the spruce and greenery onto. So also in your kit you will have a roll of binding wire, like this, moss wire. Okay, and you want to attach that to the frame before you start rolling up any of the moss and attaching it to it. So what you need to do is on the inside part of the frame is just twist the end of the wire round and round, just so that it's secure. I'll come around and show you. So that it's secure on the base, like this, so that if you give it a really good tug, it won't come off. You can see I've wrapped it around here. Okay, so that's the first thing that you want to do. Okay, and then you want to bring the reel, from where you've done that, you want to bring the reel through the middle of the ring, okay? Not round the outside like that, but through the middle, so that you keep pulling it in towards yourself. Okay, so pull it through and out and lay it like that, so that it's out in front of you, okay? And then you want to get sort of clumps of the moss, and you want to sort of roll them into sausage shapes, okay? So I've got a clump here, sort of a sausage, big sausage, and lay it on the frame, okay? Like so. I'll show you. So I've laid it on the frame like that, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to keep bringing the wire through, wrapping it round, and you want to leave sort of a 1.5 to 2 inch gap between each piece of wire. Okay, they don't need to be too close together. You just want to attach it to the frame, as so. And then I've done that about 3 times around that piece, okay? And then you want to keep repeating that until you've covered the whole frame. So get another piece of moss. Now some of this moss has got quite a lot of sort of pine needles in it. Sometimes that doesn't matter, other times they're all sticking out all over the place. So you can pick those out if you need to, but I mean, I don't need to on this piece at the moment. So slightly overlap the next piece of moss onto the bit that you've just put on, slightly overlap it, and then again, bring your wire through the middle and out, and then again, and then again, about 3 times again that was, okay? And then, yeah, keep repeating it. So it'll probably take about, that's 2, I'm almost halfway around, so it'll probably take about 4 or 5, depending on how big your sausage shapes are. So there's another one that's got quite a little bit of twigs and things in it, so I'm just going to chuck those to the side. Don't want any massive twigs in it, because it will stop when you're threading through at the end, threading all your accessories through, it will stop it from being able to go through. So yeah, that's on there like that. I've slightly overlapped it with the other one, and then I'm gonna bring the wire around again. Okay. It seems to be 3 times each time, so it means that I'm getting roughly the same sizes of moss, okay? And then another one. Again, roll it into a bit of a sausage shape, pick out any long bits of grass that you might get. You can always trim these off at the end if you don't get rid of them now, if they stick out. Okay, so slightly overlap. And then this is a slightly shorter bit of moss, so I'm going to have to do another one. 1, 2. It doesn't have to be really neat because, like I said, this is the base of your wreath. This is the base of it, so you're not going to see any of this. This is just the, a base that you can put the spruce onto, and then the accessories over the top of that. So, right, there's another one. I'm going to have to do it again because I'm getting shorter bits of moss, but overlap it slightly. There. So don't pull it too tight. You want it to be tight enough to hold the moss on, but I've just pulled it a little bit too tight there, and it's pulling the copper wire of the ring together, and you don't really want that to happen. Okay, so try not to pull it too tight. And then one last bit, just to cover that last gap. You see there's a big twig there that I'm going to get rid of. So one last bit, I'm going to overlap both sides there, so overlap there and there, so that it's a nice thick base. And then when you've wrapped that last bit on, okay, you want to just maybe go around a couple more times, and then you want to, you want to snip the wire with a little bit on it, so that you can then turn it over, and I'm going to bring it round. You turn it over, and you can see here, you can see the base of the wire. So you're going to thread it almost like you're sewing it. So you thread it underneath and then pull it through, so that you're almost like when you're sewing, when you start and end, so that the wire doesn't come loose. So I do that about 3 or 4 times, and then you can cut the wire. So that's 3, pull it through, 4, pull it through, and then just cut the wire there, and then it will be nice and tight and everything's bound onto the ring. Okay, so I'll give that a snip. I'm using floristry scissors, but I do actually find that if your kitchen scissors are sharp enough, the wire's not too thick, so it shouldn't matter too much if you haven't got floristry scissors. And there, you have mossed up your ring. Okay, so you are now ready to add the spruce. And that is the end of the first step.